Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the VULCAN. This report is for trading on Monday, February the 6th, 2017. Looking at the gold futures chart, you can see that gold had a nice breakout today outside of the Kumo cloud, did it on good momentum, and we had a very powerful close. This sets the stage for a continuation pattern tomorrow, and now what is in play is the 1250 level. Once we can get above 1250, we set a nice base for a rally to back above the 1300 level. So this is doing really, really nice. This is setting up for a nice trend reversal that we hope to see in the coming weeks as the shorter term trend line support is crossing above the longer term trend line support. All we need now is for the next couple of weeks for them to break out and up over the Kumo cloud, and that will be an official trend change. We'll go from a bearish market back in here to a bullish market officially. Taking a look now at silver. Silver had a really nice run along with the gold futures today. We are broken in and upside of the Kumo cloud, setting up for our initial run to 18, and then that will set the nice support to get silver back above 20. And once again, trend line supports are rising, just waiting for them to get outside of the Kumo cloud and change trend direction altogether. Taking a look at JNUG center stage, JNUG had a really good run today, and we managed to get a close above the $10 mark. So we've taken out that prior resistance and now made it support. $10 is now a support. So we're setting the stage now to a run to 14, maybe even 16 in the JNUG, setting up really pretty here on the daily chart. When you look at it from the weekly chart, you see we're right there below the trend line resistance. Just need to get to that $13 handle, close above the trend line resistance. Will set the stage for a run to the bottom of the Kumo cloud, and then that will get us in a prime position to possibly push to outside of the Kumo cloud. This right here is going to be important because if it hits its head above here, this is usually where if you're going to get a smackdown, that's where it's going to come from up in here. So we need to see that is not the case. Hopefully it will not be the case, but it has happened before. I don't know if I can find you a good one here, and I can't on the weekly chart, but nevertheless, it can happen. Let's just hope that it doesn't, and this run can last and get some legs behind it. Looking at Nugget, Nugget also had a very nice run today. It's making a run now toward the trend line resistance at $15.53. A close above that sets the stage to make that run up to 20, right below the Kumo cloud. And then hopefully we can get outside of $25, which will be a nice close outside of the Kumo cloud and change the overall long-term trend from bearish to bullish. Taking a look at GDXJ in particular, you see GDXJ broke outside of the Kumo cloud to the top side. Just waiting for the trend line supports to follow so we can make that run to 50. Taking a look at, let's see here. Let's take a look at, take a look. Pretty Ricky. Pretty Ricky, as you can see here on the weekly chart, is outside of the Kumo cloud and running. Good momentum pointing up, and up we go. Next target is $12 for Pretty Ricky. Looking at AG. AG's right below the Kumo cloud. Just need to get inside of that, break this little resistance layer to get back up to 15, which is the target, which puts us outside of the Kumo cloud. And we could build a nice base at the 15 level, and that should give us enough power to get to above 20. Taking a look at Heckler. All right, Heckler did well today as well. The entire mining space is getting a bid here. Just need a strong close here, and we can build a base in the $7 level, and that'll get us to 9 and 10. Taking a look at Knick-knack, paddywhack. Wants to make a run to $5. This is nice pent-up energy. If we can close above the prior high of 345, that sets the stage for that $5 run. Liking knack here. Taking a look at the dry ships. Something about some kind of announcement coming out tomorrow that could make this thing jump and skip all over the place. Got a nice run today in the dry ships. Still not looking good. This chart has still been decimated, so there we go. All right, right here above the trend line resistance, and if we can break out of this, I think this has the potential to break out of the Kumo cloud and get back above $10, and then they'll be off to the races. So this one's looking really good. Tomorrow is going to be really interesting to see how this plays out, and that is for sure. Looking at the US dollar. The US dollar, weak again, closing below par, having a problem maintaining the support trend line, and is in jeopardy of breaking into the $98 handle. So, not looking good. Pulling up the daily chart. You can see where it tried to maintain itself, try to defend here at the bottom of the Kumo cloud, and it's going to try to make a run back above par. It's really struggling here. It's looking pretty weak. I think another leg down is possibly in the works. Let's look at one that we normally don't look at. Look at these bonds. All right, bond futures. You can see it's trading in between the trend line support and the trend line resistance inside of the Kumo cloud of death, but it's poised to make a run up to 157. So be mindful about shorting these bonds. This short-term thing has come to an end. It's looking like gold. It's looking like bonds and gold are moving together, almost to the one-to-one correlation. If you look at the charts, they're pretty similar, eerily similar. Bonds bottom out around the same time gold, and it's been moving higher ever since. This could be all she wrote, and it could be ready to get back bullish again. Here it is in the longer term chart. Not as strong as gold, but just making an observation here. Got to get up to this trend line resistance here, that 154 level. Then if we can clear that, then it needs to get a close above the 159 level. That'll give it enough power to get back up toward the bottom of the Kumo cloud at 164. And we'll see where we go from there. But that's where it's looking like we're headed, is about 164 in those bonds. So be careful if you're one for shorting the bonds. Be very careful. All right, looking at the NASDAQ 100. Nothing bearish from the chart. Nothing at all. Looking at the Dow. Nothing at all. Here we are. You know, that's why you got to be careful when you're trying to make these predictions. Everyone's been calling for the short gold, saying gold's going to 1150. And it did none of the above. It actually did exactly as I told you it was going to do. That's what you saw happen. Go back and check the pre-market pulse scans from last week and the end-of-day reports, and you'll see what I'm talking about. This is what this is. Take my word for it. You are missing out if you are not a weekly Pulse Wave Price Trigger subscriber. You need to come on over to pulsewavetrading.com. Sign up for the weekly Pulse Wave Price Triggers. Make yourself some money. Do yourself a favor and make some money for a change in your life. Make yourself some money. Learn how to trade these markets. Learn how to hedge your physical portfolio and discover a better way to provide for you and your loved ones. PulseWaveTrading.com. Bulls make money, bears make money, but pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back.